Madam Deputy Speaker. It's a privilege to take part in this debate. I draw the House's attention to my interests set out in the Register. I want to talk a little bit about the position of women across the world, the deep poverty which disfigures our world. I think the whole House will accept that you cannot understand international development unless you see it through the eyes of a girl or a woman, because girls and women suffer most grievously from the effects of poverty. They suffer first and hardest from the climate change, from food insecurity, from conflict, from disorder. As we've heard already today, there are so many in important caring roles, and they are often in the developing world the earners in families. And 2.1 billion girls live in countries that, even before the pandemic, were not on track to meet any of the gender equality targets set down by the United Nations. Now, one of the best ways of changing the world is, of course, to educate girls. If you educate girls, they themselves marry later, they educate their own children, they tend to be more likely to be economically active, and they adopt leadership roles in their communities, which is why the Prime Minister is so right to champion and to aspire for every girl getting 12 years of education. But all this great work will be prejudiced. British leadership will be prejudiced if we break our promise on the Point 7 commitment. The horrific cuts we've seen recently, often of more than 50% in Britain's role in this area. And if you look, for example, at family planning, giving women control over their own fertility so they can decide whether and when they have children, there has been huge British leadership in this since 2012 and before. But if these cuts go ahead, 8 million women will not get access to family planning. I've seen the powerful effect of British leadership in this area, empowering women. Watching, I remember on one occasion, 60 women sitting under a tree in Uganda, hearing what was possible thanks to UK taxpayers. At the end, they were asked if they wanted to proceed to further consultation about contraception and women's health, and every single hand under that tree went up. The cause of women's empowerment will be set back if these fearsome cuts go ahead. As chair of the G7, we are the only country cutting back. France committing only a week ago for the first time to the Point 7. Germany reaching the Point 7. The United States adding $15 billion to the aid budget. Relinquishing our global leadership. Every story on the world stage will be about cutting life-saving support, one of the key aspects of global Britain, trashed and binned. The government must stop being timid and put this matter to a vote of this House. Failure to do so means they may be making an unlawful budget from April. Let the government ask the House its view on whether we wish to break the promise on which we were all elected just over a year ago.